If a God were to exist, it would have to experience every variation of itself possible. This includes all of evolution, every aspect of evolution, from every crevice of observation and natural selection, every correction and error, observing itself through every format possible. It's the only plausible format of a God that can exist. But if that were the case, this would mean that God would have an abundance of names and stories, and everything in existence would have been God at one point. So you can't really disregard that, especially when it comes to being godless. So how do we disprove God? You can disprove styles of God. Doesn't mean you have the evidence to back it. No one's really claiming evidence though. Energetically it makes sense. For example, the Amalekites, sons of Esau, descendants of Esau, twin of Jacob, as were the Israelites were descendants of Jacob. Esau wasn't good, per se, so his spawn bore his fruit. Similar tendencies, short-lived pleasure. It would make sense that the Amalekites ended up trying to ambush the Israelites. And seeing as to how the will of God was challenged, their genocide makes absolute sense. God as an energy. This makes sense in arcanic magic too. In arcane magic, when a sorcerer casts a spell, they're drawing energy from source, and anything that steps inside of that field has a repercussion. It has to exchange energy equivalently. So if it defies the will of source, it defies existence. And the only reason why a tribe of Abraham would attack another tribe of Abraham would be because they believed in blasphemy. And Moses' name was prominent during the time. This makes sense for Jesus too. Being born of a virgin does happen, because ovarian mutations do happen. And when babies do inhibit inside of a mother's womb, it heals the body enough so that it makes sense as to why it didn't happen again after that point. And people do come back from rigor mortis sometimes. Miracles happen every day. That's not what's baffling though. You see, what happens is that when Jesus died through forgiveness, in arcanic magic, that's considered alchemy, transmutation. That's the highest form of transmutation you can do. You've essentially harvested karmatic energy for eons within one notion of Caesar. So you transmute the value of the material world of Caesar, and you vanquish it with the forgiveness of God. Hence why Jesus took after his father and not his mother. Coming from a mutation is technically coming from aether, even if it were a very, very tiny mutation. So yes, his father was in fact the aether itself. We could go at this for days.